this
Yeah,
shit.
that's true.
And he and Neil deGrasse Tyson are really awesome science communicators now, who I think that we both really look up to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Zayn Malik leaving One Direction?
I think there's an opening, and I think I want to take it. Yeah, can we start a hashtag, maybe? Okay.
Oh, what would I do? I'll come with you. I'll travel around.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see. How many do we have left? Who created the ASAPScience picture/logo? This is from Lynn.
Okay, that's a really kind of hilarious question because when we started, we were like, okay, we're gonna make this logo for the first video, which if you've ever watched is so ugly. We use like only brown markers. Embarrassing. We're like, okay, we're gonna use this logo for the first one, then every single time we make a video, we're gonna change the logo to go along with that theme. And then by the second week, we were like, okay, that's too much work. And so we just used the same logo, and then it just kind of stuck. And like,
We just got lazy.
yeah, and we cut them out on a piece of paper. We were just listening to music. We were like laughing. We were like, oh, a beaker, and just like doing whatever because we did not think it was going to be our logo. 3 years later, on
and now it's on the book.
It's crazy. And people have asked us like design students, remember they've asked me like, so how did you do it? Did it take a lot of time? And we were like, honestly, we had no idea. And it was just like not thought out at all. So it's like a really bad story of advice for design, but it's kind of an interesting image.
Go with your gut, I guess.
Yeah, go with your gut.
Is the design advice from ASAPScience.
Okay, wow, I'm not still haven't figured this out. Okay. How/when did you get interested in science? P.S. You guys are awesome. Love Molly with beakers and Erlenmeyer class.
Where's Molly?
Oh,
right
nice.
here, all
That's
right.
a good question.
When? It's hard to say when it first happened. I definitely, we both always talk about how we both had really awesome science teachers, and we were really lucky in that way that kind of inspired us in high school. And then in university, well, now we realize we're going to start a campaign because university makes science even more awesome, and a lot of people, jump out of science before it's cool, and so now we decided we're starting a campaign called It Gets Better for science. So stay in science if you're not too sure, because it honestly gets better and better as you get older. But I don't know, definitely from a young age. What do you feel? Were you really curious?
Yeah, so I was we both got interested in it in high school, but yeah, that's just one thing to say that when we went to university was when we sort of fell in love with it, found that it was really passionate. Oh my god, I'm not playing as well. We became passionate about science, and we were just it was just so detailed, and we had good professors who made it able for us to relate it to our lives. So I would say it was a little bit later, around university, that we really got into it.
That it was when we knew that was kind of where it...
Because we both, I love art, I love painting, I love visual art, so I was thinking about that for a while. You're amazing at music, and you were thinking about that as well, but science tripping. Yeah, he has an amazing voice.
Thanks.
I was...
Can't you tell?
Oh yeah, I know, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
It's really awkward. Maybe later. Okay, I think we have maybe time for a couple more questions, so we'll go through them. This is from Ho-Ho. Is that how you say your name? Hey. How do you balance work and life with making vids?
That's a great question. So it's kind of hard when you work on the internet because it never really shuts off. So it's very easy to get caught up in it and not have it always be on your mind. One thing we did last year was go to Bangladesh, and that helped.
We literally escaped the internet.
And just went to another country and sort of immersed ourselves in a place where we couldn't think about work. So to be honest, we think about it a lot. We have lots of friends here who we hang out with in order to try and get our minds off of it. That's not the only reason we hang out with our friends. We also really appreciate it. But yeah.
We also love what we do, so it's great when we're here. And science intersects life all the time, so that's a cool part of it. But we don't have a great life.
To be honest, we're right. We are so passionate about what we do. It doesn't feel like a job. There are some parts of it that aren't as glamorous as others, but when it comes down to it, it's moments like this where we realize that we're so happy and proud of what we're doing, and it makes it all worth it. So I guess we shouldn't really complain at all.
True.
I don't have any more.
Oh, okay. Here, I'll give you this one, and then I'll ask this one. Any tips on how to become a successful YouTuber? How many of you have a YouTube channel? Anyone?
Nice.
All right.
Good.
Cool. Awesome. We'll keep it up. What's your advice?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I think my best advice is that make sure you're making videos that you are passionate about. Make sure they're videos that you, even if people don't watch them, you're still going to have fun learning about making them and have fun creating them so that A, that will bleed into what you're making and people will find it interesting, and B, it'll make you feel fulfilled. And I think that's one thing that we realized early on. We did it as a pet project. We started it as a hobby. We would probably maybe still be doing it even if all of you weren't here watching it, because it was a way for us to stay interested in science and stay, just stay educated, and becoming lifelong learners is so important. So I would say if you're doing it, make sure you're passionate about it and don't stop as well. And I know you probably have more like things.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think a lot of people concentrate on, oh my gosh, I have to have a schedule and I have to do this and that. That's kind of like the YouTube best practices. And those things can matter later down the line, but it all kind of starts from, well, my best advice is just do it. If you aren't already doing it, just post videos, make stuff. You'll get better every video put out. We still look at our first video and we're like, oh my god, it's so ugly.
I drew a brain and with brown marker and it looks like a turd. I drew like 5 of them in a row.
But you got better and better, and we won't take that video down because it's a testament to kind of where the channel has come from, and that's the way every channel will start. It will start kind of rough, and you'll start to figure out what you're good at and how you can get better at the things you're not so good at, and you just learn as you go. So just do it if you aren't already.
Nike got it right.
Yeah.
Okay. So how much research do you do? Is this the last one? Where is it?
Yeah.
Just
keep going. All right.
How much research do you do for a video? How long does it take to make a video? What are your research sources? This is good.
Oh wow. It takes a while to make a video. We usually say though, because we make weekly videos on ASAPScience, and now we put a video out every Wednesday on ASAP Thought, and then do a vlog. Hopefully we can get you guys in the vlog next week. But the ASAPScience videos we usually say take around 45 days of sort of research. And sometimes it takes a lot longer because, you might read a book that you're basing the video on, so you have to like get through the whole book in that time. Or sometimes episodes just take a really long time to find what's the really interesting angle. Like we were working on an episode about vitamin D for so long because we thought it was so cool, but we were like, we know a lot of people aren't going to find this that cool, so we ended up switching that into what would happen if you stopped going outside, which seemed like a more interesting question. But that kind of took a long time for us to get through that and get to the point where we had a cool angle to go from.
Yeah, and I think one thing though is like kind of like a story of frustration is that the video that we did in the least amount of time, which was the dress video we did overnight, is now our most watched. And it has like 19 million views, and we're like, it's like amazing because we learned about pop culture and science, but we're also like, come on. I was like, we worked so much harder on other ones, but it's kind of crazy. And it has so many views, which is like kind of crazy. And we always think we're like, when Miley Cyrus releases a video, we're like, 15 million views. Okay, I'm all right. Feel Miley, but look out.
Yeah, so it takes a while, but we try to get them all done within the week. Sometimes not. The first time we ever decided we were going to have a schedule, we were like, next Wednesday, tune in for another episode. We didn't make it in time, and so from that point on, we decided we were never having a schedule again. And now we have a schedule on ASAP Thought, though. Why did we do that?
Oh, and we're already, okay, we're going to break it. So maybe it should be the last one.
I have gone through all my questions.
Oh. Okay, we'll take it.
Okay, last question.
One more.
Pass it.
No pressure. Oh, okay. I got legs. Okay. What would you say if you could talk to yourselves when you started the channel? Oh, that's a great question.
Wow.
Okay, I would say don't use just brown marker. Honestly, like, I don't.
I think it kind of goes back to that just do it thing. I think at the beginning, the hardest part was starting, and we spent a lot of time sort of like strategizing over even like what the channel name would be and really focusing on all these sort of random details that in the end are part of the equation. But yeah, it wasn't so, it stopped us for a while. We were almost like too scared to put our stuff out there. And I mean, in a good way, not a lot of people see your stuff the first time you put it out, and so that you kind of don't have to worry about like being scared in that sense. But I'm not totally sure what I would say.
It's actually kind of interesting because I've never been asked this before, and like, I can't think of another way that all of this could have worked out. Like, we're just so proud of this book, and we're so proud of the channel, and we just can't believe that we think we're a part of this wave where science is becoming cool, and science is becoming something that people realize is important. And with that, people are going to become critical thinkers. Young minds are going to become much better for society. So I think, to be honest, there's not really much that we would change at this point, but we'll get back to you in a couple of years.
Like an ASAP Thought video about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a touch base.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Thank you so much.
I think, those are the questions. I think now we'll take some time to... Actually, can I grab the vlog and we can all say hi to it?
Yeah!
Wait, we like to do this. We did this last time at a signing.
Oh yeah, so we're going to pretend that we're really bored and like nothing's happening. We're like,
no one came to our sign.
Yeah, because there's an Indigo. We'll be like, we're at a bookstore.
And then we're going to turn it around and then everyone can yell like, science is awesome!
Alright, so you're all becoming actors. Look at Oscar 2016. Oh yeah. I'm kind of bored of this bookstore. There's like nothing.
No one really came.
If only there was a good book.
Wait, what's that?
Oh!
Sweet, thank you guys so much. We're gonna do some book
so much. We're
signings
gonna
and
meet you
photos
all.
now and say hi. So I think they're gonna help us coordinate this now.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Let's give a huge Indigo welcome. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Give them a second to get organized.
The dress, for example. Crazy video. Who saw black and blue?